Hi everybody, I'm just trying to do a few adjustments. It looks like it got moved again. Alright, I think we're all set. Move this up a little bit. Hi everybody, I'm glad to see you here. I am a minute early, I think. I see Diane and Ronnie and Stephanie and Carol, looks like. Joanne. There's Miss Patsy. Alright. We're getting there. How's everybody today? Hi Cindy, welcome. Welcome. I'll wait just about 30 more seconds based on my clock here. That's awesome, Patsy. Okay. I think it's 7 o'clock now. So, welcome to my Wednesday night Step It Up class. Hello, Anita. I see you've joined us. This is the host code for the month of June. If your order is less than $150, please use this host code. Anybody that places $50 before tax and shipping will get a little gift from me. But everybody gets a handmade card, even my paper pumpkin customers. So let's get started. I have 2 projects for you tonight. As most of you know, I did a little survey wanting to know what people wanted. This was my 3D week. So it was kind of a 50-50. Oh, welcome. It was kind of a 50-50. Some people wanted the die organizers and some people wanted a treat thing. So I changed to one of my projects for next week. So tonight we are going to do a beautiful card and a super cute treat holder that can also hold a gift card. And then next week I'll do a fun fold card and how I organize my dies. So, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Corrine Sandin. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I'm located here in Royston. I've been a demonstrator for a very, very long time. I've taught many people stamping and scrapbooking, and I love to do co-ops for nonprofits to help them meet some of their financial needs. We all know plenty of people that organizations that need that. So I do have a few in the works for the fall. So if you would like information about that, please reach out to me. And if you get my newsletter, it will be in there as well. So project number 1 is a card using the beautiful ink paper. And then I made a matching treat holder. It's a really cute, fun one to make. You can see the side here. I'm using that beautiful ink paper. I never say the name right. I want to say Ink Expressions or something like that. So, we're going to get started. I try to keep these in your window. I did make some adjustments to my camera, so I'm hoping it's a little bit better for you guys. Well, I'm gathering up my stuff. I did write the directions down, so if you want to copy them, because tomorrow they will only be, they will be up on my site, but it'll be this, a picture of this. So, let's start with the card first. So I'm using the Just Jade. The two colors that I've been playing with primarily with this paper is the pink one. It's the peach, no, not peach, what's that called? Pear papaya on the back combination, and then this is the green with the green and gold flecking. So I did use the color and contour dies and the words. So this is a bundle. You can save 10% by purchasing it. So this, the large die that you see here inside is the largest one of here. And then this one is the third one down. So I do store my, if I have a stamp set that has a coordinating bundle, I do try to store them in the same container, but I am working on a way because I don't like how things fall apart here. So I'm trying out a couple of things. So I was really glad that people wanted that because it made me look at how I do things. So stay tuned. There'll be more about that next week. So let's get started. This is probably one of my favorite fold cards. Those of you that have been with me for a while have made multiple cards like this. This is your standard 4 1/4 by 11. The first score mark is 5 1/2, and then where did I put that? 5 1/2, and then you could also do 2 3/4. But I just take it and fold it over so that it lines up with the edge of my card. But it's 2 3/4 for those of you that like to be exact. So let me grab a bone folder to make a nice crispy fold. This card is going to come together very, very quickly. Take those little pieces out. I do not often stamp my insides. Occasionally I do. The reason that I personally don't do that is because I want to be able to use this card. I can use for multiple reasons, and if I stamped it to a specific need, I would have to use it for that need. So why would I use this card? Well, this pink one is going to go to one of my granddaughters who just, finished 7th grade, challenging year, high bird, but did amazing. Came out in the top of her class, and just an amazing young lady. Or you could use it for somebody that has a promotion, or I have lots of wonderful friends that I'd like to send that greeting to, that you're just amazing. I mean, retirement, I mean, there's just so many reasons. So as you can see, I didn't get it straight, so that's why I like my wet glue. Gives me just a minute to change it. Looks like one of my light bulbs is going to be going pretty soon. Alright. Now, quite often I leave this loose, but this time I decided to put a little bit of the edging from our Stampin' Dimensionals. Don't waste them. You can use it all. You just need a little piece. I don't know, a couple of inches. So when you use the Stampin' Dimensionals, it's not quite so flat. So my little piece of paper here is 2 1/2 by 4. And I think I'm going to take a little bit more off. So let me just grab my cutter really quick. There's actually a piece of scrap that I had. Oh, it's bigger than 2 1/2, that's why. So I'm cutting it down to 2 1/2. Perfect, by 4. Now I'm going to make a decision. Do I want it like this, or do I want this side out? So as I work over the next few weeks, I'm going to show you a couple storage techniques. This is one of those little 6x6 boxes. This is where I keep all of my current in-color ribbons. So let's see. Do we want to use the succulent or do we want to use the evergreen? Let's do a little survey. Put an E or a, yeah, S, succulent. Which one do you want me to use? A couple of people? How about answering me? S or E? We got one vote for S. 2 votes for S. Okay, we need... Oh, it's going to be the succulent. Okay. So if you have never seen me and my cheating method, I call it, I'm going to show it to you right now. Here's my ribbon scissors. So I cut a piece about 1/2 inch wider than where I want my piece to go. I'll grab a little piece of masking tape to save my good stuff. If you're like me, and sometimes it's difficult to get things straight, as you can see, I have it on my grid sheet right here. So I'm going to put one end in. Looks like I got a little too much. Let me tape down one end. Just like that. And then I know where to put this one. So flip that over, put my tape. The nice thing about using the masking tape or whatever tape you choose, it will give you a few minutes. So see how I did that? It's just masking tape. Now I'm going to take my favorite adhesive, which is Tombow, or wet glue as you hear me call it often. And it will work right over this masking tape. So I'm going to show you another trick. So let me put this on first. So, first I'm going to tie a little piece of this succulent. And my ribbon scissors. Oh, I put them back. Imagine that. So some people wanted to see what the evergreen would look like. Well, in stamping, you can make your own design. So let's put a piece of each and see how that looks. Slide it up close. Try to have one of them, you know, the tail's not the same size, so you can get to see them both. Oh, yeah, I like it. Have them get married really close to each other. There. So we got to use both of them. Alright, let me put those back in my box so I know where they are. How do you guys store your ribbon, those of you that have a lot of ribbon? I have bins of ribbon. Okay. Some people use curtain rods. Some people use, what do they call those? Paper towel holders. So here is my other scallop label that I want to use. And I have my stamp all ready. And let me get a Post-it note so I can test my stamp out. I always like to do that to give myself a feel for the stamp. Oh, Veronica uses a dowel. Some people, yeah, I've heard that. Rods, yeah. When I was downstairs in my bigger craft room, my husband had made me boxes, wooden boxes that were really nice. Alright, so now I'm going to stamp it right here because I've already done my test drive. Just let that sit there for a few seconds. There. Now I have pre-punched some of the flowers using the same paper, but I think it's too green. So I want to see, let me find a little scrap of that paper. Well, I guess we'll have to use white flowers to give it a little bit more. How would that look? No, that doesn't look good either. We'll go with the green. We'll just have to wing it, huh, peeps? So what did people do fun today? It was a little cooler. That was pleasant for me anyways. I hope it was for you as well. Anybody do something fun? So you saw that I put that little flower on with a pop-up. The second one, I'm just going to use a dab of glue. Off center them. Oh, Stephanie, were the beehives okay? Organized craft rooms. Nice. So let's grab a bling. These are retired, I believe, people, but I like them, so I'm going to use them. This is how I store some of my embellishments. Now, another thing that I like to do is add a little bit of color to my leaves, because I punched all of this stuff out using this new flower leaf. So you get 2 different size flowers and 2 different size leaves. But I'm a texture gal, so I just take my leaves. I'm not fussy. I fold them in half. I use an odd number. It's always much more appealing to the eye. So I'm just folding them in half with my hands. Then I'm taking a dauber and some ink to add a little color. First I'm going to go down the center. Then I'm going to sponge around the ends, maybe a little bit heavier on my tip. So I call it flicking color. So don't you think that leaf looks much better than just a plain old leaf? So I like to add a little bit of color. You could use any green would work. You could also, believe it or not, use a light beige. And you can also use your Versamark, for those of you that have that. One more to go. Sometimes you'll have a dye or something that will add a little bit of texture to your leaf, and then that's fine. But when they don't, it's just ingrained in me that I have to add some color to it. So now I can grab my little mini glue dots. And since I have a pop-up under here, I could just slide it where I want it. And I just put it on the end because like I said, I like texture. I'm going to put another one up here. And then one more for the road. I'm going to have this one come off a little bit to give this a little bit of flair. Okay, so now we're ready to attach this. So I want it to be about right there. So what I do is I just take it and flip it over and hold it in that spot while I get my red glue, so I know not to go too far, because we don't want any on this part here of our card. So I'm just lightly squeezing it. So now I can flip it back and I can position it where I wanted it. So yeah, it matches, but it's pretty still. Flip this up a little bit so you can see the wording better. So there's our card. This is Magenta Madness, but I used the Polish Pink in color ribbon because I did not have any of the magenta. Alright, so now we're going to get started on our cute little tree holder. So I'm going to move these directions aside. I will show them one more time at the end. Let me see if I can put that so you can see it. Alright. I'm going to make it to match my card. So my little box, as you can see, oh, Patsy's watching. So I wanted to show you what fits in this little box. Those of you that like mint, like Patsy and I, it will hold 5 or more undies. It will hold peanut butter cup very nicely. It will hold a peanut butter cup, a Hobby Lobby card, and a couple of mints. Now, if somebody gave me this as a gift, I'd be one happy girl with those 3 things in it. How about you? Mints, mints, mints. Yes, I know. I love them too. Okay. They're really good on top of warm brownies. If you've never tried that and you're a mint person, you need to try it because it's delicious. So let's get started with this. I need my big scoreboard, so you can hear a little bit of noise for just a second. I don't knock my house, everything down while I'm trying to get it out. Would be great. All right. So this is the large Stampin' Up! Scoreboard. See if I can fix it so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so I have the long edge, the 11-inch side going across. I'm going to score it at 3.5. So there's like little grooves here that you just follow. 3.5, 5 1/4, 8 3/4, and then 10.5. Now, while I have it in this position, I'm going to grab a pencil. We need a couple of marks to be able to do this fold right here. See, make that triangle fold, which is what you see right here on the 11-inch side. So 4 3/8. So 1 2 3. 1 2 3. Looks about right. And then 9 5/8. So 1 2 3 4 5. So that's what I kind of like about sometimes using this scoring tool versus my cutter, because it's the smallest it gets is 1/8. Now we're going to turn it this way. So on the 4-inch side, I just have one score mark at 2 3/4. Let me put this aside for a minute. Bring back in my project. So those two marks that I just made, you need to grab a ruler. Oh shoot, I made them on the wrong end. Okay, wait a minute, made them on the wrong. I scored 2 3/4. I need it up here. And then this one would be right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm trying to show you this. So you can see my mark is right here. And the corner is right here. It's going to be on the inside, so it's okay. The corner's right here and the corner's right here. So using your bone folder or stylus, which is what this thing's called, you're going to touch that mark up here and make a score line to that corner. Some of you will be proficient and can do it on your cutter. That's fine. But I try to keep it as simple as I can so everybody understands. So there's my mark and there's the corner of my box. There's the corner of my box and this mark. Alright. So did you understand that? So you're going to make these two marks and then you're going to draw a score line from the corner to the corner. That's going to help you make that triangle fold. So now I need a bone folder. So I'm going to start folding all of my score lines. This is the bottom of our box. So you want nice crispy folds. So using your bone folder or the edge of a butter knife, something that you can apply a little pressure to. So I'm just going to hold this like this so you can see for a minute. I want these to go in. So I'm just going to come back and gently, those you can do with your finger. You don't have to press so hard with your bone folder. I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm just going to use my finger press, and the same on this side. Now we got to do a little bit of cutting, people. So let me see if I can grab something dark that you can see. There's that, and here is my good scissors right here. So I need to cut this out, and I'm going to angle cut this. Then I'm going to cut all my tabs. Okay, so you're going to cut up to that line, and then angle tab that. Now, I like to take a sliver out of my tabs versus, I might have to do it here though because of my marker. But that's okay, it helps you guys, that's all that matters. So there's, taking that out. Taking that out, and then remember I told you we got to cut this right out. And then we're going to come up and just make a little angle. It just helps your box to fold a little bit better. Alright, so we need some strong tape for this. So I'm using my tear and tape. I'm not, I'll bring it up a little closer. I am not going past the fold. See, here's the fold, but it's pretty darn close to it. So you want to take your bone folder and burnish that really well. Take off the protective coating of this two-sided tape. And then bring up the other edge and line it up. And you can lay it down flat. That's what's nice. So I always put wherever it's connected in the back of my box. So you can see the tab. Can you see that tab right here? So this is the front of my box. So this is going to go like this. And then this is going to come over. So I want to put a little bit of wet glue on my tabs. I'm not going to put any here because if I stick something in my box, it would get wet. So I'm just going to hold that there, quickly do my other side. Now this one I can do all 3 sides. Whoops, something just fell. Now take your bone folder and press down. It only takes about 10 or 12 seconds for it to attach. So while that's drying, we will work on, I'm calling this a sleeve, for lack of a better word, okay? So you know what I'm talking about. So my sleeve piece, which is called the Designer Series Paper Wrap, is 3.5 by 8.5. So what I did is I folded it right in half. So I can have a nice crispy fold at the top of my box here. So we're going to pinch these in, and that makes these little triangles much more pronounced. So this can't be any easier. You're going to hold this down. And just take your hand and gently fold it over. You don't want it so tight that your box can't slide out. So once you have those markings, then you can take your bone folder and square it off a little bit. Now, I'm just particular about stuff. So remember, I want this to be the back of my box, a tree holder. So I want to make sure my front is the same on my wrap. So you can see my front piece is coming. So I'm going to take some tear and tape and just put it right across the edge here. I'm actually going to put a couple of pieces just to make sure. You don't want to go so far back to the fold because it's not quite wide enough. So take that protective coating off. Whoop. And now I need my pickup tool right here. Should have got it to begin with. Okay, so I want to make sure that this is the alright, so this is the front of my box. So let me find that tab again. Squeeze it, flap down the front over, line up your edges, and there's your little treat box. That can also be a gift card holder. So then what I took was some of this beautiful Whisper White Crinkle Seam Binding. That's a mouthful, isn't it? And you can attach it right here so that when the person slides off their sleeve, they don't damage the bow at all. So let me grab those ribbon scissors again. Make sure I kind of line these up. This is when you can use 2 hands. Make a bow. 2 bunny ears. Everybody does it different, but I make bunny ears. So as you can see, my loops are way too big, so I'm going to hold down my knot with one hand while I pull my tails. Grab a tail here, and then grab this one, and you can keep working it till you like how it looks. Then I just took, we have this beautiful, simple, elegant twine. I just took a little piece to add a little bit of flair, and I'm just tying a knot. Nothing fancy. So I'm going right in the center of that bow I just made. And because it's corded, I would recommend that you tie it twice. That little bugger can work its way out somehow. Don't ask me how, but it does. Trim those. Then I've already stamped my, and I made a tag. I think I showed you guys this tag thing the other day. Oh, I must have put it back. I can't find it. But it makes 8 different size tags. So I made one in the correspondent, and then this one, looks like I got it wet a little bit. This one here is, many of you have this stamp set. It's from the beautiful art gallery, the words. And again, my dies are in it, and we have 2 sizes. That's what I like. 2 sizes to cut out for greetings. So I always cut a bunch out, and I just leave them in my stamp set. So I'm going to stick the rest of a little piece around this and tie it again to the flower. I could have done it all in one shot, I guess. Isn't this paper just so beautiful? And I didn't have a chance to work on that little chart that I make for you guys to be able to see it all. So I want this to hang at a certain, so you can either put a glue dot behind it or a pop-up, whichever you prefer. So again, I'm going to just grab a little bit of edging on my dimensionals. I like that side better. I think I'll switch it. So I'm going to set that at an angle. Let me punch out a couple of flowers. Just like that. Got a couple of leaves too. So let me get a dimensional. This specialty paper has a lot of white, because in this particular one, the design is down the middle. That's not going to show too good, but it is what it is, right? So you know what? I'm not going to put my leaves on, because I think I'm going to grab some evergreen after and put the leaves on. So I'm just making a little bit of texture to this. Centering that smaller one right over the top. Let me grab another one of those pretty centers. I'm sure there's something in the catalog that would work, or you could always color, or you could put pearls like I did on the card, the pink card. See how I just put 3 pearls? So this one doesn't have the leaves, and I will do that after class. I think I'm going to make them out of evergreen, so it will help make that pop. So I have a few announcements, I think. Let me look at my list here. Let me bring in everything so you can see it. Your directions. Okay, so next week I will show you how I store my dies. Welcome, people. I see some new faces on here. I will show you how to do my dies, and I have a really cute fun fold card for you. And then I will be back on Thursday night again for another section of retirement product sales. This time it will be wooden sets that I will have, and they will be $5 a set, just like the other ones were. So I would really, really appreciate if people could do a couple of things. Let me slide this down. I can see you're not seeing all of the directions. You lay one of these down. Try to get it all. I brought my camera down a little lower so you can see more, but it doesn't give you as much screening. So please, if you could hit the share button, I really appreciate it. I so appreciate everybody commenting and chatting. It really helps a lot. It's unfortunate, but it's all about numbers with Facebook. So if you could hit the share button, I would so appreciate it so much. And when you have a spare moment, which I know many of us don't, if you could go to my business page and hit the review option, which is in the menu. When you open up my business page, you know, it says events and stuff like that. There should be an option to complete a review. If you could complete a review, that would be awesome, awesome, awesome. And I would so appreciate it. As always, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for supporting me. You make my day. I look forward to this all the time because I feel like it gets me interacting with some amazing people. So I will see you next week. On Wednesday, we'll talk about how I store my dies, and we're going to make another cute fun fold card. So until then, please take care of yourselves. I will have the pictures up tomorrow. Be kind to each other and have a great weekend. Bye-bye now.